one person finds the courage to face the raging crowd.
That creature prowls down there.
Right where we're... What's going on, Geralt?
You'll get a chance to show your mettle. If we're to capture Foltest's murderer, we'll have to clash with the Scoia'tael.
I sent the boys out into the woods. Tough going, too dense. My scouts got ambushed and barely escaped.
It's no picnic hunting elves in the forest. Tell me something I don't know.
My people saw the Kingslayer again. He knows we're here, but he's not even trying to escape. Seems he's waiting for something.
I think it's our move. Larito wants the Scoia'tael gone for good. He didn't say anything specific, but in his mind's eye, he saw them on the prison barge already.
Yorvet's outsmarted bigger fish than the Commandant.
Larito's got something going with Sheila, so I'd take him seriously if I were you.
You never know. Maybe the sorceress hunts more than monsters.
I questioned Kieran, Yorvith's second-in-command.
Where is the bastard?
I get the feeling he's dead. Just landed on the Isle of Avalach. I've been to that island, Vernon. I remembered something while talking to Kieran. I was there with Yennefer. She gave her life to save mine.
Did you remember the crossing? How you got there?
With Suri's help.
Interesting.
What I find interesting is how a master spook like you has no idea what happened to me over those 5 years. 5 years, Roach. That's enough time to topple a monarchy twice.
First off, my responsibilities do not include the surveillance of dead witches. And second...
Spit it out.
Unconfirmed rumors. I've never taken action based on them.
I need something. Scraps even. So you need to tell me everything you know. Even things you think might sound ridiculous.
3 years back, Fen got a missing persons case. Someone was abducting young people, aged 10 to 20. Now the case went cold because no one agreed to testify. Except for one woman, considered insane because she insisted the Wild Hunt had made off with her son. And she claimed she'd learned of this from an old man who was pursuing the cavalcade. He resembled a skeleton more than a man. White hair. 2 swords on his back.
The Wild Hunt is a riddle. A riddle that will restore my memory, if I can just solve it.
As I see it, you're more likely to learn about the hunt from the insane. Not a reasonable man out there can teach you a thing. You might visit that asylum in the woods. Or what's left of it.
I found a patient's chart in the ruins of the hospital.
You mean the burned-down insane asylum?
They committed him to the asylum because he'd insisted he'd been a prisoner of the Wild Hunt. He claimed he'd been in a world without humans, where he'd seen herds of unicorns. He managed to return to our world after a year, only to find his children had died of old age. Following this, Vernon, it means he'd been to a world where time flows a lot slower. A little town deep in the forest, terrorized by Scoia'tael. You should be in your element, Roach.
Flotsam isn't just any old town, Geralt. Temeria, Redania, Kedwin, and Edirn. The largest kingdoms in the north. Know what they all have in common?
The Pontar Valley, the strip of land they've been battling over for generations.
Exactly. And here's Flotsam, on the border between Temeria and Edirn, with Kedwin lying in wait just the other side of the marshes.
At the very edge of the Pontar Valley.
Stuck in the middle like a candle up the arse.
The North's most important trade routes meet here. Every caravan has to come through Flotsam, and anyone who wants to place their cargo on a boat on this section of the river has to bear Larito in mind.
They say Henselt of Kedwin has gathered an army and is heading for Vergen. The Pontar Valley will be on fire soon, while we, Geralt, are sitting in Flotsam, the gateway to the valley.
I'd like to believe it's pure coincidence and the killer just followed the squirrels here.
Naive to say the least, Witcher.
So long, Roach.
Everything all right at the household?
Something's troubling me.
Let's hear it. What does a bloody witcher act?
How are those biceps holding up, Zoltan?
Hard as a bull's bollocks. Arm wrestling's a dwarven pastime.
We ought to try it sometime.
I'll arm wrestle you anytime. Now, even.
Another time, Zoltan.
Thieves and bandits everywhere.
How's it living with Roach's soldiers?
Splendid. I know every shit joke that anyone's ever thought up. Plus, I've learned how to burp out the official title of the Emperor of Nilfgaard without reaching for beer. Shorty's told me about his 16 children, all named after Temerian troop divisions, and I know his nickname has nothing to do with his manhood. Nice to know that you care, though.
Glad to see you in a good mood.
I think I actually like them. They're good people. One of them even proposed to me.
Who's the brave man?
Sorry, that's a secret.
And here I thought Roach's boys had an ounce of respect for me. The Wild Hunt's not a legend. I can prove it.
How so?
I found a manuscript whose authors contend that our world is not the only one where there's life. They also believe stars are not just twinkling points.
You want to tell me that somewhere up there, I'd find other Geralts, other dandelions living, breathing, and... Shame we can't meet up.
Exactly. The manuscript says vast distances are the main problem. A normal human would run out of lifetime before he got to any of those other worlds.
Besides which, you'd have to have something that could fly.
The manuscript's authors claim the Wild Hunt has found solutions to both problems. The cavalcade travels between the worlds.
Sounds a little like the ravings of a drunk dwarf. But who knows?
I need to find out. The manuscript mentions someone named Morton Collis who devoted his life to observing the hunt. Maybe I can get my hands on his research. I know you. I can see you're dying to ask me. What is it?
All right, fess up. What happened to Foltest?
The king's dead, and the Scoia'tael are in it up to the tips of their pointed ears.
Yada yada. The Scoia'tael are blamed for everything in this country, from bad crops to bad marital sex.
I was there. I saw it. The assassin escaped with the help of Scoia'tael.
I guess the price on Yorvith's head will rise.
The Rito sensed that already. If he can catch Yorvith...
Fertilized by the elf's rotting corpse, his career will blossom somewhere far away from this dump.
You gave Vernon a full report on Flotsam. Seen anything unusual around here?
They've got some amazing women at the brothel. You should take a look. One of them.
You know what I mean.
A town like any other. It's got a harbor, an inn, and a stinking muddy river. That's what an ordinary man would say. But we poets also look into people's souls. And things are not good. I saw a robbery sanctioned by law. The town watchmen laughing as they confiscated goods, all the while talking about how they'd finally bring order to the town. I saw drunken thugs beat up an elf woman while no one even flinched. I know these things happen everywhere, but here, it's not motivated by hatred or misguided attempts at meting out justice. People are driven by cold calculation, always looking for opportunities to get a little richer.
I need information. Anything that could help me track down the Kingslayers.
I only know gossip. Things folk have been saying since Demavend's death. People are throwing out blame left and right. One day it's the elves, another the Nilfgaardians, then it's Rivians.
Let me guess. The suspects also include a Zerrikanian alchemist and a group of halflings.
Bold theory, that. But the mob comes up with even better ones. Know what? Frankly, the most worrying effect of these assassinations is the chaos they've unleashed in people's minds.
What do you mean?
I mean chaos. People don't know what to think, who's good and who's evil. And these are tough times. Who knows what's going to happen?
So, Mr. Master Spy, what's new in the world of politics? Bards singing about anything interesting these days?
Eddern's in trouble. Henselt and his great army are nearing the Pontar and will ford it and strike any day.
Well, we haven't had a war in a long time.
Like all little boys, he likes to play with his soldiers. But I don't think Kedwin will have an easy time of it. Eddern's borders are guarded by Saskia the Dragon Slayer.
Who's she? Some mercenary?
A peasant girl and self-proclaimed commander of something called the Edirnian Voluntary Militia.
Fighting women and bards who play politics. These are strange times. Zoltan, I need to ask you a favor.
Shoot.
I heard you know the local Scoia'tael.
You heard? Meaning some goat's arse in a helmet hollowed it out in the market square.
I need some way to get to this Yorvith.
You know, I don't want you thinking I'm all chummy with the Scoia'tael. And Yorvith detests me. Why would you want to see him anyway?
He knows where the Kingslayer is.
Yorvith? And here I always thought him a common thug. All right. No reason to sit on our arses. Come on. You can tell me everything on the way.
Lead on, Zoltan.
Tell me, who said I have contacts with the Scoia'tael?
Laredo.
What a prick.
That's why he wanted to hang you? For making deals with the squirrels?
What? I met a few, yes, but made no fucking deals.
What about their leader?
They say Yorvith's mad, but the Scoia'tael are at his beck and call. Sod knows what he wants.
Hope he'll tell me what it is.
Tell you what, of two evils, Laredo's the bigger prick.
Because he almost hanged you?
Because he stirs up the locals against non-humans. And there's word he's colluding with Kedwin.
What's his angle?
Greed! King Henselt would gladly annex more land and grant Laredo privileges. Come on, we've got a long way to go.
Let's go kill some monsters!
We need to go deeper into the forest. I hope they didn't change the password.
You know their password? What are you playing at, Zoltan?
All right. The Scoia'tael asked me to command a unit.
No wonder Laredo wanted you hanged.
Get out! Come on! They may have asked.
And a dwarven traitor spitting on the honor of his folk.
You know what I spit on, you divot? On you bloody squirts, riffraff, killing innocent men.
Innocent men? So agitated when you shout that, it's even funny.